To me, there are three things that are needed that form like that perfect storm that create trauma that causes a person to develop complex PTSD. The first thing, obviously, is overwhelming events outside of self, right? They could be abuse, it could be toxic parents, it could be a toxic relationship, it could be sibling abuse, it could be bullying, it could be medical trauma. It was something outside of self that created such intense emotions that were too much for the nervous system to handle. But that's not enough to create trauma. The second thing needed is the fact that whatever those external events were, they caused you to change your beliefs about yourself and or the world. So you might have developed beliefs like, I don't matter, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, there's something wrong with me, or people aren't safe, the world isn't safe. So now there are these beliefs that are formed as a result of those circumstances that were overwhelming. But guess what? That's still not enough to really cause someone to develop trauma and CPTSD. The final nail hit, I always get these expressions wrong, the final blow, the last piece is the fact that those circumstances that created those beliefs took place and you had no support. It's that no support on how to deal with it, how to handle it, that combined with the other two things creates that trauma. And the reason I'm sharing this is because sometimes two people go through the same events and one person's like, well, I went through that and I didn't get trauma. And that can be really invalidating for people that did. And they might say things like, well, I was strong enough to not develop trauma. When the reality is that no, it's just that you didn't have those three perfect storm points at the same time. You had support that helped you, and that's wonderful. And we're glad that you didn't have that trauma or you don't have that trauma. But if you didn't have that support and you had trauma, it does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are less than. It means that your nervous system went through too much, too fast, too soon. It was overloaded. It couldn't handle it. The good thing is, though, trauma is not a life sentence. You can overcome it.